I'm the Space Quest historian, and I've prepared myself, mentally and physically, for what is to be the conclusion to Space Quest: The Lost Chapter. You can't hear a fucking word I'm saying, can you? Oh my god.
Can't breathe in this thing. Alright, so, we're ready. Here we go. We are going to finish this game once and for all. And once we do, I will have some words. Words. Exactly. So, let's get busy and freaky. We've solved this rather peculiar but so delightful puzzle, which, actually, hang on, let's do this right. Let's just go to the walkthrough straight off and figure out if we're supposed to do anything else with this scanning machine here. Put hair on scanning surface, return to the elevator. Okay, so we're not supposed to do anything else. Off we scoot, motherfucker. Alright, once in the elevator, we go to the 10th floor. Boom, boom. Go east and into the door. Stand there until you hear the conversation. Oh shit, I don't remember actually being in here before, so I'm just gonna save my game. End of shite. So I'm just supposed to stand around here then? Can fucking do, Squire. This is nice though. I like this graphic. You are on the upper level of what seems to be a large research lab, which is where research is commonly conducted. You're on the a walkway that goes all the way around the large room. There is all kinds of equipment extending up from below. You really have no idea what it's all for. Awesome! So just stand around then. Being the luckiest janitor to ever slip on thermal underwear, after hanging around for a while in here, you start to overhear a conversation from down below. Okay, the timer was suspiciously long. This is, I mean, for a game that has a lot of extraneous screens, let's just call them that, they're just there to pad out the size of the game. You would assume this would be one of them, and you just carry on with your thing. Now I happen to know I'm supposed to stand here and overhear this conversation. I feel that timer was a little long. Words! But, being the luckiest janitor to ever slip on thermal underwear, after hanging around for a while in here, you start to overhear a conversation from down below. A text box that I just read. It's hard to hear the alien speaking, but you make out most of it.
I wouldn't stand a chance. She'd blow me off in a second.
For some reason, these are the alien speakeasy co-owners.
No way, man. You just have to impress her a little. Maybe take her to the bar, get her a few drinks, loosen her up a bit. I'd probably make a fool of myself. She'd probably catch me staring at her tail or something and knock me cold. Jeez, you have absolutely no faith in yourself. I tell you, get these on her looking at you. She likes you. You just have to go and introduce yourself. I just don't know. What if you're wrong? No way, I'll finish the Promac deviation test. Just get down there and talk to the girl. Nah, I won't make any kind of impression. I got work to do. Maybe later or something. Oh man, you're hopeless. Burn on the fracillator. I'll take the readings.
I've lost track of who's speaking. A loud machine comes on, obscuring the voices of the aliens below. That's the worst voice I've ever done. Well, you're not sure what that was all about, but you still feel proud of your eavesdropping talent. It seems you only get better with time. And luck, apparently.
Words!
Alright, fine, fuck it. Off we scoot. Actually, which direction? Return to the elevator once again. Really? Screw that, I want to see where this goes. Looking around the room, you see no reason to go in this direction. And he just moves in the other direction. Okay, so maybe that's the hint as to why you're supposed to just stand around. Well, that being the case, why is there a door in the background? Fine, fuck it, who cares? Back in the elevator, let's head to the 11th floor. And go east and into door. Can fucking do, Squire. Dum-de-dum. Having the clearance, blah-de-blah. Oh, this is the room I was in earlier. Oh, so there were 2 floors with security doors? I didn't notice that, but that rhymes. Don't hang around long. Okay, fine, sorry. Go west and look at bomb. After standing around doing absolutely nothing, the guards get suspicious of you and start coming after you. Fuck! Can I just leave and try again? Yep, hooray for short-term memory. The other room wanted me to wait. God damn it. Alright, look, bomb. If this is the bomb you've heard mentioned around the ship, it seems very impressive, though the people here are pretty busy for a project that's on hold. There is a Varakian working inside an open hatch near the base of the bomb. Do I talk to the Varakian? Actually, I type in help Varakian, but I'm gonna talk to him first. Deviate from script here. Hey, what's up? What are you doing here anyway? I thought it's just Geeko and me assigned here today. Uh-oh. Well, whatever. To be honest, I wish I was in the bar. I could use some relaxation. If you aren't gonna help, why don't you push off there, fatso? Beg your fucking pardon. Words! This isn't a spectator sport, you know. Alright. Yeah, this guy really deserves my help. Help Varakian. You wanna help, huh? What parts of the bomb are you familiar with? None? I hope that's okay. Enter bomb part. Oh, that's the one we heard upstairs. Right, what the hell was that? Frazillator. Frazillator. All right, you're just the man I need. You take over and finish modifying this frazillator and I'll pop up to the bar and get a quick drink. Now be careful and check with Geeko before you run any tests. Thanks, man. And off he fucks. The Varakian promptly drops what he was doing and heads out the door. I mean, I love that walk cycle. All right, well, he's gone. I wasn't supposed to do anything while he was doing that, was I? I guess not. Anyway, let's have a chat with the Torminian. Hello. What? Oh, hello. I'm quite busy. He had a stroke. And I've got a lot on my mind, so please don't break my concentration. Right, fine. I'll help you too. Oh, no, wait. Torminian? What's that? You want to help me? That's very nice of you, but I doubt you can help me. I'm a loser. Entirely wrong inflection for that one. Besides, I have to finish this test. What test operations are you familiar with? Tell me. I'm interested and really proficient in the Promag deviation test. That's great! You could take over from me, but there's no reason I should go anyway. How about to get drunk? I see your self-esteem needs some picking up. How about you pick up a glass while you're at it? Saucy was trying to get me to go check the new girl in engineering. Oh, that's her. I'm giving him the wrong voice. Oh, I gave both of them the wrong voice. I heard, that's the one.
He says he heard he likes me, but I just don't know.
So, told you he had a stroke.
I'm worried. Well, if he's wrong, I could look like a real doofus. I mean, what kind of first impression would I make?
What? Give flour to... Oh, where the hell did I get a flower? Got that from the surface millions of years ago. This is the strange flower you stole or borrowed from the nice plant in the jungle. It looks a bit like a very rotten banana. All right, give flower to Torminian.
Wow, that's a beautiful flower. Why, you'd give that to me? Thanks so much, friend. This is just what I need to make a great impression. I don't think anyone has ever seen a flower like this. I can't believe you're going to finish up the test for me and you gave me this wonderful flower. You're a great guy. Thanks again. I'm so excited. I better be careful I don't fall and squish this thing. This is great.
The Torminian probably jumps what he was doing and heads out the door. Bye. Well, he's gone. Cool. So both of them have fucked off. Walk to the bomb, put wrench in hatch. Oh, I got a spanner. Wasn't it a spanner a minute ago? Look, spanner. Where? Look, wrench. Okay. Oh, it's an MK wrench. The other one was a UK spanner. I didn't know there was a difference. A handy tool for tightening and loosening M-key bolts. It's a very ancient tool since Steer's Superstore has put out the automatic M-key wrench longer ago than you can remember. Why did we need that information? But okay, put wrench in hatch. Well, being the ultimate agent of destruction, a talent well honed from adventures past, you dump the wrench into the open hatch and into the sensitive insides of the bomb. There's a loud noise and then a crunking sound that just does not bode well for the bomb. It really gummed up the works there, Roger. You wonder if this bomb will be able to function at all now. Hopefully not. I think that's what we are supposed to do. All right, so now the walkthrough says go east and get arrested. I can do that, sure. Apparently it's taking them a while. Hey, dudes, I fucked up your shit. Everyone proud of me? All right, after standing around doing absolutely nothing, the guards get suspicious and start coming after you. I love you guys! Give me a kiss. The guards grab you and, in doing so, realize you're not Tormenian. They seem very upset at your spying and promptly throw you in the brig. Being a strange... I thought this was a death scene. Oh well. Maybe I've just been too hasty and hitting restore before this whole sequence played out. Being a strange alien, these aliens throw you in the brig. Now this is where I go to die a lot. You stare out the small window in your cell. Nobody can hear you. Nobody really care. Your stomach starts to grumble. You are now dead. This is not the end. All right, let's try that again. Oh shit! I have to do this all over again. Sorry. Yes, paw at me. Fondle me. I am loving it. I'll put wrench. Oh, I missed a step. Now I see. We also put fiery frost in hatch. How are you supposed to figure that out? Actually, excuse me. Can I look hatch? Is there a hint here? You see some of the inner workings of the bomb, but you have no idea what the machinery does, or the bomb for that matter. The machinery inside looks to be very sensitive though. Maybe you shouldn't be messing with it. I will indeed mess with it. Now what's up with this fiery frost thing? A nice drink you got at the bar. I'm going to have a little savey here, and then I'm going to drink the fiery frost and see what it actually does. Okay, you grab the spicy looking drink and gulp it in one shot. You begin feeling weird. The whole world turns crazy. You see more colors than on your super color multi-mode monitor. A strange burning starts in the pit of your stomach. You feel like all your internal workings are being screwed up. The burning gets worse. The pain becomes unbearable. You feel like your belly is on fire. It's even worse than that time you ate a jar of jalapeno mongo peppers by accident. Yay. Off you scoot. You then burst into flame from the inside out and are rapidly burnt to a crisp. Your remains smell horrible and would give the heartiest janitor one hell of a challenge. At least you went out in style. You're now dead. That was fun. All right, so we know it is very, very hot. So, all right, I'll give you that one. Put fiery frost in hatch. And I suspect the game just wants you to go and order everything on the menu, try drinking it, see what happens. I suppose you could level the criticism that how is the main character, that would be Roger, supposed to know that the fiery frost is indeed as fiery as it proclaims? So there's a secret rule about you're not really supposed to put hints in deaths. Like the player's not supposed to figure out something by voluntarily or purposely getting themselves killed and then come back, and then the protagonist suddenly clairvoyantly knows that if they did so and so, then they would narrowly escape death or whatever. Words! Moving hastily on, suspecting some devious plot in store for this bomb, you somehow decide to throw, yes, somehow, indeed, fucking somehow, throw your very potent fiery frost drink into the open hatch. Why you would think to do that is beyond me, but you do it anyway. The game is even admitting at this point that it's just fucking given up. Words! The drink bubbles and fizzes as it hits the sensitive parts inside the bomb. Sparks begin to fly and circuits begin to burn out. Well, combined with that M-key wrench you dumped in there, there's no way in all Xenon that this bomb is gonna work. Oh, it might blow all right, but it sure won't do what it's supposed to. Alright, so now we save our game and head to the east, and maybe we'll get arrested and thrown in the brig, but not until the point of death. Hello, lads. Having brilliantly and probably permanently damaged the bomb, these aliens have been working diligently on for how knows who long. Whatever. They aren't too pleased. They grab hold of you since you're the only one who was near the bomb, and upon doing so, your tight mask skips off your big head and reveals your non-Tormenianness to all. With their surprise comes a few screams of saboteur and kill Pinky, and your fate does not look good. They shepherd you off to another part of the ship, having to inform the captain of what's happened. What's in store for you now is anyone's guess, but I would imagine they fuck you and then throw you in the brig. Way to go, janitor boy! The guards take you to the brig and proceed to take you into a cell. This is different from last time somehow. Oh, yeah, the guard, having escorted you to the open cell, gets ready to throw you in.
Get in there, you traitorous scum!
They all have this accent now.
If I had my way, I'd disintegrate you one cell at a time. I'm also drunk. I'd keep you alive for weeks while I make you suffer for unbearable pain in the contusion machine.
It was a lot of effort for him to get through that. And then he gets up and goes,
That's a so easy a fate for you, you fat pink grat.
What fun, Roger. You have lovely scenery, lovely hosts, and who knows what activities in store for you. Yeesh. You get a boot in the pants to help you into the cell. I'm still very not... I'm still super heroic about it. Holy Christ. The sprite never fails to crack me up. Alright, in the cell, I can read graffiti, look out window. I just want to look around. You are in a small confining cell with walls covered in graffiti, more than likely left by previous tenants. There are some fairly inadequate looking facilities in one corner, a terribly hard looking bed in another, and a window on the back wall. The cell looks like am I reading this right? Vohal himself sludged it all up before they so graciously invited you to stay. You imagine the cell is cleaned about as often as you clean the Arcada, which is never. Okay, shit. So we can read graffiti, look out window, but they're not essential. You can just clean up the graffiti by typing clean cell. Why would I do that? Oh, there was a timer apparently. Having no idea what to do in the cell and hence just wandering around doing absolutely nothing, you've not helped your cause, which I can't remember anyway, so it really doesn't matter. However, even though your DNA was scanned, the Tormenian somehow never thought to question where you got the Xenonian DNA. Thus, nobody on board the Vergatron ever found out who you really were. Perhaps if you had ticked off some other people on board, word might have gotten around about the fat Tormenian who was wandering around the ship. It might have led to a little more interest in that Xenonian DNA. But then again, maybe it was just inevitable that you'd find a way to get yourself killed. I mean, such is life and all that. But I digress. In case you were wondering, you became quite popular as the prison guest, being the only pink one around and all. Everybody took to calling you Fat Pink Grat, but the order from the captain to deal with you in a fatal manner came down due to your serious interference with their later fusion bomb. The guards, who also took to kicking you around the brig at lunchtime, were very disappointed. Some of them were heartened when they heard that the method of such dealings, Some of them were heartened when they heard that the method of such dealings, however, meaning the methods of your disposal, I see, was left to the guard's discretion. So, upon the captain's order, the rather mean guard who took an instant disliking to you and hurt your hiney more than once, took you up as his own personal pet project. Awesome! Oh, this is a nice scene. He proceeded to test out new and painful ways of torture on you in the days after your arrest. He looks kinda happy about it, actually. Your screams filled the depths of the Vorkatron, and you cried like a baby for mercy. The things done cannot be spoken aloud. Why's he got a fucking smile on his face then? Oh well, he enjoys it. Happiness and slavery. Ever. You are now dead. Thank you for playing. Fuck you. Right, so that's the bad ending, I guess. Tickle me. You're now dead, Roger. Fine. Okay, so what we do is we go back. Go back to the time pod, which apparently is the one bit I failed to do properly, and do stuff with that. So here we are. Well, you can just sit back and relax and I'll jump cut this, but think of me as I now traverse the entirety of the end of this shit once again for your benefit. Alright, we are back. We have just done naughty things to this bomb, and we are going to head east and get arrested once again. Hello lads, have you missed me? Of course, they're just gonna blah-de-blah-de-blah, and they're gonna chuck me in here, and hopefully I will actually get to type in clean cell before anything awful happens. And in we scoot. Read graffiti. On this side of the wall, you can make out a few things. Acryl of Femaleria, painter of janitors, basher of bozos. Acryl, character designer for Space Quest Incinerations, wrote a fan novel of Space Quest. All good fun. You will all become fun with the Borg. Wish we were here, the two guys. I don't think they did. Okay. I will never leave the closet, the decaffeinated Jedi. Well, it's a reference to the virtual broom closet, which Jess, Decaf Jedi, ran his first Space Quest fan site ever. Bit of a double entendre there. Trapped, there's help in the subspace channel, but I don't know how the Huron you're going to get there. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that was the forum we used. Alright, clean cell. Well, apparently unable to curb your natural janitorial instincts, you muster up the will to try to clean the very messy cell. I think this might be the trigger to, getting Roger identified. He starts cleaning shit. For some reason, even though we've just explicitly stated that he doesn't actually like cleaning, at least not aboard the Arcada, but oh well. Using your Tormenian outfit, torn up into nifty pieces of cloth, you start wiping away at the cell walls. Though lacking cleaning fluid, the strange cloth does a decent job and you continue to swab away. You leave the floors, since it looks beyond the help of any mortal, and you stay far away from the toilet. In fact, you wouldn't attempt to clean that toilet unless you had something akin to Grimesol cleaning acid and a full bodysuit. You do, however, manage to get rid of all that nasty graffiti and most of the slime plastered on the walls. However, some of the slime is so close to the roof of the cell that it not only boggles your mind, but makes you afraid to find out how it got there. Though unable to reach the high slime, you're very impressed with your work. You dump the now filthy pieces of the outfit in the toilet. The toilet won't notice. And now we can look out window, I guess. You're not close enough. I knew that. What? I'm very close. In your lamenting about your capture, and in an effort to stop thinking about the multitude of probes you're likely to be subjected to in these aliens' effort to study you, you stare out into the star-filled void of space. You look out the window, which is... You just told me I was... Okay. Hello! You can only imagine what the future holds for you now. These aliens could do anything to you, and most of the things they probably have in mind aren't pleasant. This is just not what you had planned for your life. You wanted to command your own cleaning vessel someday, to roam the stars cleaning up spills, the likes of which would make normal men tremble. As you watch the vast expanse of space, you wish you were out there, free to boldly clean where no Zanonian has cleaned before. Your nose. You miss the good old times, you miss your golden mob. How did you get yourself in these situations, Roger? I don't know. There's an Easter egg here that I'm supposed to remember, so I just remembered as I was reading all that shit and I saw the close-up. All right. There's an Easter egg here. I wonder if I have time for it. What is it? Dream? Be Wolverine. Wolverine? There's something. Hang on. I'll go and find out. Okay, turns out I couldn't actually do it while I was recording the game, but after I started editing the episode, I went to the virtual broom closet and looked up the Easter eggs, and there are actually a ton of them, but the one that I was supposed to do in the cell is to type in pop claws. You say the magic words, and you are transformed into the ultimate expression of janitorial anger and power. Not quite what you had in mind, and oddly familiar, but it's cool. And here we are. I am now fucking Wolverine, so now when I look out window... In your lamenting about your capture in an effort to stop thinking about the multitude of blah-de-blah-de-blah, you look out the window and bruh, you admire your new and very impressive look. You're a scary one there, Roger. You couldn't not look mean in this face if you tried. You marvel at your claws, god fucking damn it. They look like they could cut through most metals like a hot laser knife through permaplast. As you watch the vast expanse of space, you wonder what adventures you could find in this new form. You wonder who would be able to stand in your way with this powerful new body. Then you bang your head on the window trying to see the outside of the ship, and you remember that this is just a delusion, and you're really the same old janitor you always were. Not that there's anything wrong with that. You stop daydreaming and turn your attention back to the cell. And there we go. That was the Easter egg I wanted to show you. Fine, fuck it. Let's get back to the actual playthrough. I guess I'll just hang around here. Dum-de-dum. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. Dum-de-dum. You hear angry voices outside. Then the door opens, and the very unfriendly guard who hurt your fanny orders you out of the cell. You're guessing the large smile on his face doesn't bode well for you. Somewhere else on the ship, a report just came in about a certain DNA sample that a certain Tormenian placed on the DNA decoder. That information is about to be relayed to the captain of the Verkatron. Resplendent in his really weird lab coat. Yes, the captain is on comm now, researcher. Captain, I have some disturbing news coming out of the DNA lab. It seems an unidentified Tormenian placed a sample on the DNA decoder while Grilu was working on it. He ran the analysis and the DNA turned out to be Xenonian! But we have no Xenonian on board. That's what you think, fucker. Exactly, Captain. I mean, when I got this report, I started putting together a few mysteries that have popped up on board in the last hour or so. Because I'm quite bored and I honestly don't know why you're paying me. Firstly, an odd readout popped out on my computer. It appeared to be an unauthorized transport from the planet's surface, something that is, I think we can all agree, impossible. I now believe a transport did take place, and I wasn't just imagining it because holy shit, all the acid I've been dropping is really making me a bit funny in the head. People all over the ship have reported seeing an unidentified Tormenian who apparently not only was very skilled, well, it wasn't me then, but knew about sensitive data concerning the later fusion bomb. I didn't. In fact, he had access to the lab where the next prototype is housed. It seems it was this Tormenian who disabled the bomb and was captured by our guards inside the lab. What? But I was informed the alien traitor who damaged the bomb was not Tormenian. Now, disguise. Did you hear the part when I said, that's correct, Captain. Upon apprehension, it was discovered that this Tormenian was nothing of the sort. He was wearing a disguise that seemed to have fooled people from the observation deck all the way down to the bomb research lab because it turns out we're fucking idiots. I believe this alien to be the Xenonian. I believe he not only survived the crash, but through sheer genius and ingenuity, sure, why not, managed to transport himself on board the Verkatron. Kind of by accident, I'll just have to say. The sensor sweep has picked up an old vessel, originally a scout ship from the Verkatron, amazingly enough. I believe the Xenonian somehow used the damaged ship's instrumentation and materials to rig a makeshift transporter to teleport himself here. I just broke in somewhere and turned... Also, people in the... what are the aliens? I'll get to all this. As luck would have it, had we not been in orbit at the time, the Xenonian would have teleported into space and been killed. But our timing, it seems, was perfect. His makeshift teleporter picked up the Verkatron signature and teleported him on board. So that's what happened. Could have fooled me. As to exactly why he has disabled the bomb or what else he's been up to since his arrival, I'm clueless, and so am I, the player. As hard as this all is to swallow, it gets worse. Try water. Like, just drink some water and then goes... Okay, haven't gotten the DNA results of the... fuck it. Haven't gotten the results of the DNA decoding. I can read. I ran the signature through the time dilator and I think we might have a serious problem. He turned into Tom Waits there at the end. I'm forwarding the data to the bridge now. Pull up that data and give me a report now, Chatru. The situation is deteriorating rapidly, and I have to pee. The bomb is completely inoperable. We have an unauthorized alien on my ship running amok. I guess, yeah. This very same alien might be responsible for destroying the later fusion bomb, and now researcher tells me it's worse. How? And I just peed myself. The council is going to have my head for this. Why do I sound excited? Right away, sir. I'll just get the machete and lob off your head before they get a chance to. Chatro pulls up the data on his panel and quickly learns the disturbing news. Origin, Zenonian, identity, Roger Wilco, status, pre-Space Quest 3. Timeline significance detected! Ah, Captain! The Zenonian appears to have a future timeline significance. Not really, but okay. What do we do now? Oh, fuck. Chatro contract bully down in the brig. His name is Bully. Of course it is. I ordered the traitorous prisoner killed only a few minutes ago. Knowing Bully, he's already taken him down to his playroom of horrors. As much as I want to eliminate that Zenonian dog, we are not in a position to do anything here. He has a bit of a... yeah. He's all over the place. This destructive pink flesh pile could get us all evaporated if the council finds out we wiped out a vital timeline life form. Is this supposing? I'm just gonna... yeah. Are we to... This would infer that there are non-vital timeline life forms. Which makes a lot of sense, actually. He's ruined years of work, and we have to pat him on his head and wish him good voyage. I can't believe this. Chatro, what's the status? We have to stop that overzealous nutball bully from frying the Zenonian's brains, and I still have to pee again. My God. I'm contacting the brig now, sir. Get a fucking hold of yourself. Communication, is researcher still on comm? Yes, sir. Researcher, what are our options here to get this mess cleaned up?
Got to move faster.
I should have given him that voice. Damn, missed opportunity.
We have located his escape pod relatively undamaged on the planet's surface. We have to beam it on board and effect any necessary repairs immediately.
I've already... okay, that's gonna take I've already calculated his most likely position using the coordinates and time of the first encounter Kenro registered. Sure, why not? On his scanners before he lost the pod with the radiation interference, the approximate speed the vessel was drifting at, and the time elapsed. I believe the results are quite accurate, and provided we move fast, I think we will get him back where he's supposed to be at this time, except I threw the time pod away, so, okay. The program is running on time lapse, so as time passes, it updates the position, but we still need to move as fast as possible, because apparently this is how time works. Understood. Chatro, have the pod beamed into docking bay and order all available maintenance personnel to the bay now. I'm going to go away and cry for a bit. Researcher, did the DNA analysis show any effects by the radiation? Actually, we've had enough Zenonian backup data on file to get an idea of what we should have found with our stowaway. What did I just read? Alright. There are a few anomalies that turned up with the DNA sample as compared to normal Zenonian DNA. Factoring in normal DNA variances, there still seems to have been a few side effects from the radiation bombardment from the later fusion potion. The only major one we could determine for sure is that the alien's fur appears to have been altered in color. Hair color. Okay. The later fusion radiation appears to affect many natural pigments in this way, but I would suggest we try to restore the original fur color before we place the alien back in stasis. Are you sure that's necessary? I've had my assistant work up a solution that will simulate the Zenonian's natural fur color already. The recoloring effect might not be permanent, but I do suggest we proceed with it. Very well. Contact the brig and let them deliver the alien to you for treatment. We'll notify you as soon as we have the escape pod ready. What about memory? Will you have to... I'm drunk and pissing myself. Will you have to attempt erasing the last few hours from the creature's brain? I will administer a drug that should make the last day a blur, but our methods for memory removal are too harsh for fried and brides, he said while vomiting up his lower intestine. Though the alien might be able, he's somehow fine, might be able to remember some or even all of what has taken place, it's doubtful that it will seem as anything other than a dream if we return everything to normal and place it back in space. I think our brain-wiping machinery too dangerous to try on so primitive a mind as this. I think there's a word missing there, Chief, but okay. Very well, proceed with dealing with the alien. Slap him on the butt for me. Captain out. Chatru, have the guards in the brig search the alien and take his belongings to researcher. We'll have to try to determine what he may have picked up along the way in the last few hours and discard those items and somehow keep the... Oh, no, wait. I start Space Quest 3 with no items except for the glowing gem. So that's how I lost them, I see. Tell the researcher to dump anything he's not sure about. It's a risk we'll have to take. I want a log kept on this primitive pink furball alien. If there's one chance in Huron to exact revenge on it, I want it. Captain Karn, research's data seems to indicate multiple timelines being affected by this life form. I'm not sure we'll ever catch up with it again. We'll see, Chatru. We'll see. Well, after that fucking lengthy outro, but hey, I love a good outro. I also love this outro. Well, you are saved from a very horrible fate as word got to Bull E just as he was about to hook you up to the Ganusian fusion contusion machine. His disappointment cannot be expressed in words. The guards rough you up a bit, but since they're under orders to keep you in one piece, you should consider yourself lucky you still have the same amount of openings to your body as you did 10 minutes ago. Your strip searched and all your possessions taken! Something with which you have become familiar. What? When have I been familiar to being strip searched and probed anally? Oh well, you are turned from a pink nuisance to a bright red one. The buff was never one of your better states, though embarrassment is all too common to you. You're then redressed and taken to researcher. Researcher has you stripped again and then bathed in the solution his assistant prepared. Your entire body is treated with the solution to turn your fur back to brown. Besides it burning your skin and the funny smell, you come out unscathed by your chemical bath. Except your penis has now fallen off. You're redressed yet again. You begin to feel like meat. And there we go. You now have back your good old brown locks. You feel spiffy, though you smell funny, and your skin is still tingling. You're not even allowed the chance to scope yourself out in the mirror, though. These guys seem to be in an awful hurry, and they shuffle you back and forth as fast as possible. First over here, then over here, then over here, then over here, and then fuck you. You're next escorted to the bridge by the same grumpy guards who have dragged you all over the ship. Just when you felt you were forming a unique bond with them, you get a boot to the pants again. Reality is always a pain in the butts, but Batinsky. I'm going to read this in my highly offensive Russian accent. Reality is always a pain in the Botinsky. Thank you. I'll be here all night. Oh, so that's where this screen comes into play. Oh well. You are being escorted to the heavily guarded bridge of the ship. You remember the place you were trying to nose around earlier? I guess you're gonna find out what's beyond that large door after all. You only hope there's nothing in there like the Ganusian fusion contusion machine. That thing did not look too pleasant at all. You get weak at the knees just remembering it. Yum. The guards present you to the captain. Here's the pink dog, sir. So you are the cause of so much trouble on my ship. Do you realize I haven't cried in 10 years and then you came along, you fucko? You sure are an ugly alien. Do you realize that you've pulled the ship off course, cost us fuel and man-hours in the search for you and your vessel? No. Do you realize that the bomb you destroyed has set us back years in development? No. My one wish is to be able to jettison your ugly pig body into space and watch you implode in the vacuum of space, but such as that is not within my power at this time. Your sorry tale is required alive for future timelines to proceed as normal, and I can't afford to change that. I am skint.
Oh, get me a shillin' for some fags, and I'll pay you back on Thursday.
Can you loan us a bob till Tuesday? But Roger Wilco of Xenon, it has just become my life's mission to seek my revenge upon your ugly pink head. For now, you shall avoid my vengeance. But I shall hunt you down, Wilco. I will find you. It may not be for years, perhaps even decades, but I shall find you. And when I do, I will take my revenge. Beware the wrath of Khan, Wilco! Beware the wrath of Khan. The wrath of Khan. Quick point here. There's a game that I was actually hired. I volunteered to write the music for way back in the day, way back in 1996, 7, 8-ish. And it was a fan game, and it was called the Goliath series, and the main antagonist was named Karn, with the apostrophe and everything. And I remember this because I somehow unearthed the original MIDI files that I did back then for this game, and I stuck him on Bandcamp, link in the description, and I am quite surprised to see his name turn up in this game. Because the only thing I was briefed on with the Goliath series was that we'd need an intro, we'd need a captain's log, and we'd need an antagonist music piece for the antagonist whose name is Karn, and that's all I was told. I wasn't told what the plot was, I wasn't told who Karn was, I wasn't told anything, except go make this music. So I did. And then the game never happened, so there is no such game as the Goliath series. There's only 4 bits of music that I wrote for it. Link in the description. So what the hell this has to do with that, I'm not sure. The Goliath series was supposed to be made by a guy named Macallus of Borg. That's his username, it's not his given name. Maybe he was a tester on this. Maybe he worked together with Vonster. I don't know. Maybe someone could tell me. But anyway, Chatro, have the pod ready and see to it that he's given the mind drug. With any luck, he won't remember a thing. I thought I had to burp there. It will be my pleasure to remind him of all this when I find him. Take him away! You are taken to the docking bay where your faithful escape pod awaits. It looks newly repaired and shipshape. You only wish you could say the same for yourself. Some big ugly guy stuffed something down your throat. Blah. A most unpleasant experience to be sure, but you could learn to love it. You begin to feel woozy and are then taken to the sleep chamber. After deep throating whatever it was you gave me, I suddenly feel drowsy. Nice! Redrawing of the SQ3 opening, but still very, very nice. The guards have put you in the sleep chamber and you can hear someone programming the pod controls. This is not Monster's fault or anything, but with the EGA palette and the low resolution, it kind of just looks like Roger's head on top of a huge metal traffic cone. Anyway, you're pretty woozy from the drug they gave you. You don't know what it was, but your mama always told you drugs were no good for you. Besides the very happy feeling you get when you accidentally blew up a gas tank in the hypodenture clinic a few years back, and the odd buzz from unavoidably exhaling or inhaling Seraptian cleaning fluid, your experience with drugs has been very limited. If the sick... There's a lot of text in this epilogue. If the sick feeling in your stomach, the blearing headache, and the lack of proper motor functions is how other drugs make people feel, well, you have no idea why so many people do them. Maybe they make games like these bearable. Anyway, you hear the guards talking and you try your best to move. Your body just does not seem to be responding the way you want it to. You kick yourself in the shin trying to swing your leg over the edge of the sleep chamber. Ow. You poke yourself in the belly trying to move your hand across your body to pull yourself out of the chamber. And you manage to drool a little in your attempt to speak. You hear the guards as they move over to the chamber. One of the guards starts to speak to you, but you can't quite make out exactly what he's saying. Get fucked, Pinky. It sounds something like flowing you out of Slace and something about a fab pink Yakuza. You give up on trying to comprehend what he's saying and try to move again. You're even less successful this time. The guard presses the pod controls and the cover comes down over you. Bloop. Your eyes are heavy and you fight to stay awake. The sleep gases start being pumped into the chamber, however, and you are fighting a losing battle. Something not completely unfamiliar to you. Okay, that's at least a Suit Larry line, isn't it? Why does he keep using that? Through the haziness in your vision, compounded by the closed chamber and the sleep gas, you see the guards mulling over you, and then you hear them laughing. As you fade into unconsciousness, you remember the words of the captain, "Beware the wrath of Khan." Then, as you so often did in Janitorial Academy, you fade into sleep, oblivious to all around you. While you're out doing what you do best, sleep, your pod is readied, closed up, and sent off to Researcher's calculated position. The Verkotron moves off to its previous heading and leaves you behind, drifting away. Captain Karn swears an oath to find you, and then the ship bursts into light speed and disappears. Your escape pod is back in space, heading pretty much where it was heading before. which is who knows where. Talk about deja vu. You're in the same boat you were in one sequel ago, drifting aimlessly. Let me tell you about the time I was drifting aimlessly. Of course, you're also back in stasis and therefore unaware of anything right now. You have successfully bungled through the lost chapter and must now await new adventures. I think I see a lot of garbage in your future, but I'm only a narrator, not a crystal ball. Congratulations on a job well done. Yay! Ooh. Hooray! What? No, the end screen? Come on! Oh well. Close enough, I guess. So, that was Space Quest: The Lost Chapter. And I'm going to pull up my notes now because I have words! Indeed. So, first of all, is this a bad game? No. It's not. And let's be honest. I've had a terrible time playing through this, and I have a bunch of critiques to swing at it forcefully, like a brick through a glass window. But we have to take this all with a grain of salt. Is this a professional production? No, it's not. It's one dude's fan game. And it is, by all accounts, a love letter to the Space Quest series. So we have to keep that in mind. And for what he has achieved with the scope of the game, the amount of screens, the amount of writing, the terrifying amount of writing, it's actually pretty impressive what he got away with. Most of the deaths in the game were pretty inventive and well described, and there's a lot of text in the game, but whenever it got to like classic Space Quest, describing deaths in an agonizing long prose is bread and butter of the series, and he got that down pat. Also, rounding out the positives, it is the first completed SQ fan game, so we have to give it some credit for that. It has a very, very big world to explore, probably the biggest world I've seen in a Space Quest game, and it felt huge. It also felt kind of redundant at times, but it felt huge. And lastly, we actually had this discussion on the SQH Discord, was since Space Quest usually involves Roger bopping around in space, then it's weird that he doesn't actually bob around too much in space in this game. But then again, he doesn't really bob around in Space Quest 2, for instance. Or Space Quest 4, which is more about time travel than it is about traveling through space. And Space Quest 6, which is you bobbing around the human body interior, as it were, in a microscopic state, instead of bopping around space. So, it's actually a wonder that no one has done an underwater Space Quest game yet, because, underwater is almost as exciting as outer space, sometimes more so. The idea of having an underwater Space Quest game is actually pretty ingenious. I will have to quickly interject there that it doesn't actually do much with the underwater stuff. You could have a lot more interesting locales and a lot more interesting settings. Look at a game, of course I know this was made a long time ago, but look at a current game like Subnautica, which has all these beautiful different terrains and almost different worlds underwater. You could have done the same with Space Quest, so instead of bopping around planets, you were bopping around these underwater locales. Space Quest: The Subnautica Adventure. Something like that. Anyway, for what it is, it's quite impressive. However, worse! As you have probably guessed, I did not enjoy this one bit. I did enjoy it some bits, but on the whole, I did not enjoy this. And the reason for that was, this should not have been a parser game. It could have been an AGI game, fine, and the graphics were really good, I thought, for an AGI game, for the low resolution and all that. But this should have been a point-and-click adventure, and it should have been a point-and-click adventure because the parser in this game really discourages exploration. The parser in this game only understands precisely what it wants to understand and nothing else. And that is a big no-no. When you're doing a parser, you need to predict a lot of the things that the player will want to enter into the parser. And if you just keep throwing I can't do that, or you don't see that here, just keep throwing generic responses at them when they are trying to solve a puzzle, just trying to find the right word, that's discouraging. You stop wanting to explore. And even more so when you throw absolute fucking snark at the player for the unbearable crime of wanting to explore your game world, for trying to do different things, for trying to learn what the next step is. Unforgivable amounts of snark, I have to tell you. Not just directed at Roger, but directed at the player itself. Usually, Space Quest snark is directed at Roger, or if you intentionally do something that is stupid. But this game just seems to think that the player is just stupid, regardless of what they're trying to do. So it feels unwarranted to have that level of snark in there. And another thing the parser does that is really a big fat no-no is that it has these multiple word nouns. So it's not just look scanner, it's look scanner surface. If you have a 2-word noun which counts as 1 word, and I said this in the previous episode, but I'm going to say it again, that is just all manners of horse shit. Also, a quick little question. What were those aliens doing under the crashed ship, and why is there an underwater base of aliens, and what was that all about? That never really got satisfactorily explained. Just wondering about that. So anyway, that's what's my playthrough of Le Lost Chapter. And there was a comment on the SQH Discord that this series was sort of less enjoyable because I had not finished the game before and I didn't have a lot of trivia to offer, not a lot of insight. It was missing the H in SQH, as in Space Quest historian, and I fully agree with that. That's a bit weird. I just thought I had to play this for completion's sake, and also because I've never finished it before. So honestly, to be perfectly honest, this series was more for me than it was for you, but I still hope that some of you found at least some amount of enjoyment in it. And, if nothing else, frustration is usually quite entertaining when it's not happening to yourself. So hopefully you will still like and subscribe and do whatever you kids do, and leave me a comment, because I do truly wholeheartedly love the comments. Thank you so much for your support during this adventure. And my big thanks and love and all that to Vonster D Monster for making this game, because despite me not enjoying it very much, I still think he deserves a lot of respect for what he did single-handedly. So there's that. You don't have to like everything, but you have to respect it for what it is. And I think actually Summer in the SQH Discord said that we have to appreciate its historic value. We don't have to necessarily appreciate what it actually, gameplay-wise is. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around the Chrono stream. Bye. But do stay tuned until next week, because I know a lot of people have been leaving comments. Oh, it's such a shame that the whole Space Quest series is over now. But it's not. I still have one more game to play. Decision of the Elders, another fan game, which I will be starting Tuesday next week. These people will probably see that episode before next Tuesday, because they give me money. They're patrons. These are some videos you can watch. I like making videos. Maybe you should go watch some. Maybe you should go watch some of the YouTube Adventure Roundtable, which also are videos that I'm involved in. Yay!